Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. And I would love to say happy solstice. I love this day because it means that the daylight is going to start increasing, and we're moving towards spring. So it's a really positive thing today. Oops. So let's go ahead and look at our agenda. As usual, we'll do our welcome and introductions. We'll take a few minutes for some announcements and some updates. Then it's your time. So if you want to be thinking now, if you've got anything you'd like to share with the group, ask for help with. We love to hear what's going on with your world and know if you are having some trouble with some cases that we might be able to brainstorm and help with. If you've got a new resource that you've identified, we love to know about those. We make sure they go in the medical home portal. If you are practicing any motivational interviewing, we love to hear about that. And any quality improvement that you're doing as well, please share that with us. We really, really enjoy that. And then after that, our main portion of the meeting is going to be about self-care. And we've done this a couple of years in a row in our December meetings, and we hope that you'll be a participant today, that you'll really feel okay about speaking up and sharing with us today. That's what it's all about. And then we'll wrap it up and let you get on to whatever it is you haven't gotten done yet in this holiday season. Let's see. All right, so we'll start with welcome and introductions, and I'll start. So I'm Mindy Tueller. I am the Director of Operations for the Medical Home Portal, which is designed to be a resource for anyone who cares for children and youth with special healthcare needs. I also oversee this group and this meeting, the Utah Children's Care Coordination Network. And the way I usually do this is I just look at the list that Zoom provides me, and we go down from there. So if that's all right, I see Michelle next. Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Michelle Redfield. I am the administrative assistant for the Medical Home Portal, UCCCN, and the Division of General Pediatrics.
Thanks, Michelle. And Gabby.
Good morning. My name is Gabby Baragoshi. I am a quality improvement coach at UPIC and also working very closely with Mindy and Michelle on the Medical Home Portal and the UCCCN meeting. Thank you.
And we get to hear from Gabby for just a moment in a minute. Amy.
I work with Gabby. I am a QI specialist for the University Pediatrics Department, and I am primarily over the Aspire project, which is an autism related project. And then I'll also be doing a little bit of prescription for play, which Gabby will talk about in a minute, and is a very exciting program.
Awesome. And Dora, you're next.
Good morning. My name is Dora, and I am the Professional Relations Coordinator for Shriners Children in Salt Lake City.
So happy to have you, Dora. And Colleen Lane.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Colleen Lane, and I am with Children's Health Alliance of Wisconsin. So Gabby graciously reminded me of the UCCCN during a NIPN meeting. So I had a few questions on care coordination. So I am with the Medical Home Initiative. We have 6 different initiatives with Children's Health Alliance of Wisconsin, and we work to improve care and access for those children who have special health care needs. So I thank you for the opportunity. I reached out to Gabby to see if I could sneak in on a meeting that you are having. So Mindy and Michelle graciously invited me as well. So thank you for letting me attend.
Absolutely. And Colleen, A, you're always welcome. Anyone and everyone is. We love it. And B, if you'd like, we can give you a moment at the top of the meeting today if you have some questions that you'd like to throw out for the group.
Sure. I'm not even sure where to start.
All right. Well, we'll get through introductions and give you a minute to collect your thoughts, and then we'll just give you a couple of minutes after we do that, if you'd like.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Great. Absolutely. All right, Athena.
Hi, I'm Athena Parker. I'm the support services manager with the medical home portal.
Good morning. And Cheryl Lynn.
Good morning. My name is Sherilyn Tatum. I'm a UR-Lend trainee, for parent advocate trainee. And I am just kind of trying to get my feet dipped into all the resources that are available to families outside of Montana, which is where I live.
Wonderful. Well, we're really happy you're with us, Cheryl Lynn. That's terrific. And any way we can help.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. I see an empty chair in Tina's square, so I'll skip over her for the moment. And how about Amy Nance?
Hi, good morning. I'm Amy Nance. I'm the Director of Children with Special Healthcare Needs here at the Department of Health and Human Services.
I always love it when Amy's able to join. Good morning. Tina.
Hi, I'm Tina Purcells. I am a parent of a 22-year-old with multiple disabilities, and he is really getting excited for Christmas. And I also am a parent consultant for the Utah Parent Center and have been an author and reviewer for the medical home portal for several years.
Thanks, Tina. We're really glad you're here with us this morning.
Oh, and Colleen, welcome. I was born in Kenosha.
All right. Good morning, Eric. I see you.
Good morning. I'm Eric Christensen. I am the program manager with the Integrated Services Program with the Department of Health and Human Services. And Cheryl Lynn, where in Montana do you live?
I live on the High Line in outside of town called Havre, which is about 35.
Up on the High Line. I lived in Great Falls for about a year when my oldest was 4. He's now 31 though, so that was a different chapter in my life. But so
yeah, I'm sure you're missing the 50 degrees below weather right now. So
absolutely.
Oh.
Anyway, we're glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Very glad. All right. Well, welcome, Eric. And how about Jade?
Hi, I'm Jade with University Health Plans and Healthy Medicaid Care Management.
Glad you're with us, Jade. I hope it's longer than 20 more minutes, but if not,
it is.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. Today we are not. I don't have a conflicting meeting, so I thought I'd better hurry and register and hop in.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. All right, Rebecca Chilino.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm an RN care manager at the Farmington Family Practice with the University of Utah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Evelyn. Evelyn might not be able to talk yet. So Evelyn, when and if you're able to introduce yourself, you're welcome to do so, maybe via chat, whatever works for you. All right, and then I see Tawny Dunn put her information in the chat earlier because she's helping to get clinics started. So she's with the Northern Utah Pediatrics at McKay Hospital, and she's a nurse there. And how about Natalie Allen?
Hi, I'm being camera shy today. Sorry. I am a nurse practitioner and I work for Department of Health and Human Services, Eric's Integrated Services team.
Good morning, Natalie. And Erica Wall.
Hi, I'm Erica Wall. I'm a nurse with Integrated Services with Eric. I cover Uinta, Duchesne, and Daggett counties.
Good morning, Erica. So glad you're with us. How about Alyssa Fifield? Alyssa might not be able to. Oh, okay. Alyssa, if you have an opportunity to jump in and introduce yourself, please do so. And the chat's just great. Natalie Carter. Maybe that some folks are having a little bit of trouble being able to. Oh, okay, here we go. Alyssa put her information in the chat, so I'll read it. She's also a nurse at Northern Utah Pediatrics at the Layton Clinic. Great. Welcome, Alyssa. And I will try Julie Southwick.
Hi, this is Julie Southwick. I am a transition specialist with Eric's team, Integrated Services Program.
Good morning, Julie. All right, and Daniela.
Hi, I'm Daniela. I work at University Pediatrics and I'm the care coordinator there.
Good morning. Glad you're with us. And Antonia.
Hi, sorry about that. This is Tony Estrada, and I am with Eric's team, care coordinator at the Integrated Services Program.
Good morning, Tony. I was so formal before. Glad you're with us. And let's see, did I get everyone? I think I may have gotten everyone. Fantastic. All right, well, we'll be super pleased if anybody else is able to join us. And of course, please feel free to use the chat. It's one of the upsides of doing virtual meetings and using Zoom. So we love to see your comments and your thoughts that way as well. All right, a couple quick things. Of course, we always encourage you, if you're able to use a desktop or a laptop for these meetings. We think the experience is the most robust. We'll try and end promptly at 10 this morning. And we have a few announcements. So we recently surveyed you guys and asked you a few things. And so some changes that'll be coming starting next month include a private moderated Facebook group that will allow anyone who's interested to connect in between meetings and ask for help and throw out, cases and all of that kind of stuff. So it's been created. We're just putting some final touches on it, and then we'll be inviting you to join. We feel that motivational interviewing is such a great tool that we're going to try and incorporate a little bit more of it throughout our meetings in the coming year. And we're also making sure that there'll be some professional development certification types of opportunities for being a part of UCCCN. And speaking of surveys, we have one on the medical home portal. So if you direct any of the families that you work with to go to the medical home portal, not the homepage, but any other page, there'll be a banner at the top that has a link to a survey. It's not a short survey, it's a little bit longer. But if they're able to go through it, they will be entered to win a $25 Amazon card. And we have quite a few of those. So we would love that help. And in fact, this comes out of a URLend project that's happening right now. So we really appreciate our URLend trainees. Every year we do something with them to improve the medical home portal. All right, I'm going to hand this over to Gabby for just a minute to talk about a new program.
New project. Thanks, Mindy. So we are about to start up a new quality improvement project, and it's called, the title is Promoting Child Development Through Play. So it's basically a prescription for play. And so it's a program. It's delivered during Well Child Visit to promote play for development in children from 18 months up to 36 months. So basically it's a prescription prescribing 50, so by a primary care provider, prescribing 50 minutes of play to the parent or caregiver during a well child visit. And with that prescription, what happens is the family receives an educational pamphlet or brochure, and also a duplicate. And the family goes home and hopefully, that's the intention, right? Hopefully plays the child on a one-on-one during the next months until they are coming back, and we can evaluate how well it went. To the Lego Foundation, so it's basically sponsored by the Lego Foundation, and the Lego Foundation, they really want to promote the play, specifically after the pandemic, when a lot of children were kind of not, I wouldn't say neglected, but there was a lot of more screen time and more TV time and more, playing on an iPhone versus a really interactive game between the caregiver and the child. And so the Lego Foundation reached out to UPIC, to us, to the Quality Improvement Partnership, to see if we want to actually roll it out in pediatric practices throughout the state of Utah. And so here it wanted to, give you the opportunity to bring it back to your practice, to your providers, or to your organization, and spread the word that this project is starting up. And if you have more questions about it, I believe I put my email address already in the chat box, and I also can put a registration link in there too, just in case you're interested. And it is, we have rolled it out already at the University Pediatric Clinic, and Daniela is on the call today, so she maybe can give a little update on that one. We have rolled it out at the South Main Clinic and also at the Sugar House Clinic. And we have received some great feedback from the parents and from the providers, handing out those tupelo kits and the educational brochure. One comment of one of the providers was, as soon as I handed the kit to the 24-month-old child and the father, they went down on the floor and started playing. So it was really wonderful to see how interactive they actually are. Yeah. That's basically my short spiel about this project. Of course, there's always MOC for providers. We are offering 25 MOC credits and also 20 CMEs for RNs and supporting staff in clinics.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous.
It's a great project. It's really fun because you are giving something to the family. And the clinics we're already doing it, they combine it with the reach out and read books. So the family gets a reach out and read books, and also the Duplo kit with the educational part with it.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, Gabby, so much.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Thank you for making this announcement.
And we'll send both Gabby's email and the link for registration for the prescription for play in the summary of the meeting.
Yeah, and I just want to go quickly back for a moment, because we have callers from out of state too. So we actually more than welcome, to roll it out actually out of state too. So from Colorado to wherever.
Okay, fantastic. All right. And I don't know if you want to just keep talking for a second, Gabby.
Oh, the Spark for Autism. Yeah. So we also still doing the Spark for Autism study. So where we, and we bring it up every meeting where we encourage families to sign up for the national study, to send in the saliva for genetic testing. And we are to the University of Utah is one of the recruitment sites, and we are at the moment number 2 on the recruitment bestseller list, I would say. I don't know what you say. So we did just the last few weekends, we did a saliva pickup drive where families who already enrolled in the program but have not sent in their spit kit, we emailed them and said, hey, how about, we come to your house and you leave your spit kit on the porch, so we don't have to have interaction face to face, but we exchanged it with a small holiday gift. And yes, family actually signed up, and the Spark team, we made some trips around the weekends picking up saliva kits.
That is great. Sherilyn asks, Gabby, do you know why they are not joining multiple generations of the same family in their study?
It's a question I don't know how to answer. So not joining multiple generations of the same family. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? What do you mean by that?
I am a parent of multiple children, and I enrolled with my daughter, and then my eldest daughter enrolled with her son, but they haven't joined us as a multiple generation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, now it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. And actually, we have a meeting with the Spark, Central Spark, which is, from the Simons Foundation in New York. I can bring up the question if you want me to.
It would be really interesting because my eldest daughter and her son have a micro deletion, but my youngest and myself have never been checked. So we were just like, it would be interesting academically to join us and to check, but our primary care has never did a microarray on us, so we don't even know if we have the same deletion. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So,
It makes
but I
sense.
did
That's a good
send them an
question.
yeah, if you could, that'd be wonderful. I did ask, I did send an email, but I never got an answer back.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
wondering.
yeah. That's a good question. Can you provide me with your email address? Would that be possible?
Yes, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then once I get an answer, then I can get in contact with you.
That'd
Absolutely.
be awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. This is what I love about UCCCN. All right, we're going to keep moving along. We just want to remind you about our pediatric echo series. We're taking a break for a minute. That's all it feels like, is just a minute, because it starts right back up on the 11th. Now, if you guys remember, we had the same folks, Dr. Spencer Merrick and Dr. Yuji Wakamoto, who are residents, triple board residents, do some motivational interviewing training for us. Well, they were so good that we asked them to come and do it for pediatricians and other clinicians on the 11th. So that's going to kick off our spring schedule. And then it's a really great one. And you can see the whole thing at the Peds Echo page. And of course, that link will go out in the summary of the meeting. These are on Wednesdays at noon. We know that can be hard, but they're all recorded. So if there's ever a topic that you're interested in seeing the presentation on, you're very welcome to check that out later. Same webpage. Super quick, we've had some clinical content updates on the medical home portal, a lot having to do with epilepsy right now. But we've also gotten our postpartum depression screening updated. So just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. Again, all of these links will go out in the meeting summary. And we have just published a page about everyday strategies to help improve wellness. And we'll take a look at that at the end of the meeting as part of our self-care topic today. All right, Athena, can I give you just a minute?
Yes, let me try and share my screen. I know I've had a little trouble in Zoom, so if it doesn't work.
I can always drive for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even giving me the option maybe, so we'll just let you drive.
Okay.
So I wanted to highlight a few things on the Utah Medical Home Portal that might be relevant to the topic we're talking about today. So while a lot of items in our Utah Services Directory are geared toward youth and children with special healthcare needs, they're not exclusive to that. So Mindy, if you'll go there and search in the service category, just type the word mental health. You'll see that we have a huge array, just kind of scroll down that list of mental health care service providers. And again, everything from talk line, more lines, crisis lines, outpatient facilities, telemental health, psychiatric care. And again, a lot of these providers don't just serve children and youth with special healthcare needs. So if you're ever looking for a resource for yourself as well, we would encourage you to come here and look. We have it divided by therapy type. There's divisions by age groups. There's division by type of counseling. So issue problem. So again, a huge range of mental health and behavioral health therapy service providers in the Utah directory. And yes, go ahead, Mindy.
Oh, that's
okay. And then in addition to that, we recognize that a lot of you, since you're working with families, are probably also in a position where you're helping families finding time for themselves as well. And so just a reminder that on the For Parents and Families page, we have a whole section about taking care of yourself and your family. There's a lot of really great information in here about that can help guide families through caring for themselves, caring for their marriage, caring for other children, tips for single parents, tips for fathers, how to access respite care. So lots of really great information that you can also help direct families to as well.
Thank you very much, Athena. Appreciate that. Okay, is everyone seeing my slides again? Okay. All right, very good. Well, before we jump into brainstorming, we'll pause for just a minute. We're starting to get a little bit behind, but I would love to give Colleen just a minute if you're still interested.
I can share the question that I posed to the Nippon group when I was with Abby, or excuse me, with Gabby in the group. And so in Wisconsin, and you'll notice I was born in the Midwest, so you'll notice I have a very strong accent, Midwestern accent. I'm located just north of Madison, Wisconsin, but we do work statewide in Wisconsin. The Department of Health Services, the Title V program, has asked our medical home initiative to create a care coordination curriculum. And that was basically what they asked us to do. So our prior experience and my personal experience has been really regarding different tools and strategies, but usually concentrating on a certain tool with what we worked on, such as we had a project that was 5 years long with a shared plan of care that we had different providers and healthcare clinics and so forth. And we've also worked on food insecurity and developmental screening and mental health. So it was always around a certain topic that we focus specifically. Now it's just they would ask us to do care coordination curriculum, just very broadly. So I thought there are a lot of different directions we could head and go with this. So I thought, okay, where do I start? And so then Gabby brought up the group. So I thought, I'd like to see how, this was organized. So that's basically why I'm joining right now. I know there's different models that we could take in doing so, but it's really, we can go any direction we want. Of course, we're in the negotiation stages with DHS, but basically that's why I'm here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's exciting, Colleen.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that perhaps what might be more beneficial to you would be to talk with a few of us who are on the planning team for UCCCN, and that includes Eric Christensen and Tina Purcells, and we'd love to spend a few minutes with you and talk about how this has evolved and what seems to work and all of that. But you've got some pretty exciting things right in front of you, and we'd love to share what we've done if that's helpful.
That would be wonderful. I'd appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, we'll make a note and we'll follow up with you and try and find a little bit of time, maybe just at the first of the year, if that's all right.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, guys, this is the brainstorming portion. So if anybody has anything they'd like to bring up now, please feel free to do that either in the chat, or you can raise your hand like Tina's doing. Go ahead, Tina.
So I've got a resource if you want to let me share screens for just a second.
You bet.
I'll explain. So I get calls all the time from parents who are frustrated because they can't get into ABA. They can't, they're on a wait list. What screen am I trying to share? Okay. Can you guys see this? Okay. So on a wait list for ABA, all of our ABAs right now have wait lists for applied behavior analysis therapy for kids with autism or related conditions. And I usually don't have an answer, or I have some kind of sketchy stuff I found out, on the internet somewhere, when parents say, I want to be my own child's therapist. I want to, I can't wait another 3 years and let my child keep growing without some type of therapy that he needs. And so I got that call yesterday, and then I started doing some searching before I called her back, and I found this. And from everything that I can see, you guys, it's kind of cool. And it says, work with a therapist to build and deliver a personalized therapy program to your child and help them reach their developmental goals. It's a free ABA training program. It's sponsored by all of these major healthcare companies, plus more. I guess over here it says many more. And then the eligibility requirements are that the child has to have a diagnosis. You do need to be on Medicaid or insurance. You have to commit to 10 hours per week, pass a background check, and have a high school diploma in order to apply. It is something that this one particular parent is going to check into. I told her to give me a call and let me know how it goes. But it really is kind of a neat thought on ways to get that therapy for our kids when we're waiting, you know, or just to do the therapy yourself if that's what you prefer to do. So keep this. I will put the link, guys, into the chat, but I just think it's something worth giving to parents when they are in that place where they're feeling there's no movement for their child. So.
Oh, Tina, I mean, this could be a game changer.
I know. I was blown away when I found it. So I started playing around with the application process, but I didn't have time to really mess around too much. But yeah, so let me get this and I will stop sharing now, but I'll stick the link into the chat for you guys.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll make sure to include that in the summary of the meeting, and we'll get that in the medical home portal database as well. If anyone ends up, you know, having a family do this and can report back, as it sounds like Tina will try and do as well, we would love to hear that because we know there's such a need for this. Wonderful, wonderful.
And Tina or Mindy, can I just, it was ABA therapy, right, that you were showing?
Yeah.
So Colin with our autism program has just called all the providers and updated his list.
Yes.
And a lot of them had mentioned that they didn't have a wait list. So I don't know if you've looked at that list lately, but and we can also update it again if there's specific people on that list that say they have no wait list when he's calling and trying to get information too. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get the new list. I like to be able to see if there's a wait or not on it. And I mean, in this particular thing is, I mean, I get a handful of calls, you know, every year, a parent going, I'm done. I want to do this myself. And there's never really been a big, here's a great resource, you know.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, maybe Colin can add this one to his list, and then we've just Tina just put the link to Colin's spreadsheet, Colin's PDF in the chat as well.
Yeah, I'm sharing it with Colin right now.
Excellent.
How did I do that?
How did you do that?
I didn't put that list in there.
I did it.
Sorry. Somebody else did it.
Tina's magic.
Well, I agree with that statement, but all right. Great. Well, does anybody else want to bring anything up? Is anybody doing anything with quality improvement? I like to try and stay quiet for just a minute to make sure that I don't just move on when somebody might want to talk. Oops. Let me share my screen. All right, well, then we'll go ahead and move into the main topic today. And that is self-care. So I hope you guys are all ready to talk about self-care. So first I thought maybe we should define it. And guess what? There are lots of definitions out there, but this one came from everydayhealth.com, but I liked it. Self-care is not synonymous with self-indulgence or being selfish. Self-care means taking care of yourself so that you can be healthy, you can be well, you can do your job, you can help and care for others, and you can do all the things that you need to and want to accomplish in a day. So we originally were looking for somebody to help come and present on self-care today. And the couple of people that we had thought about were not available. And then I said, well, I would love to do this because this is stuff that I have a little bit of a passion for personally. I read all of the articles that come out about this kind of stuff, and I try and incorporate it in my own life. And if it matters, I do have a degree in health promotion and education. So hopefully I have some credentials that will allow you to feel okay about what we're going to talk about and how I present it in the next little bit. So it's that time of year where we all have a lot on our plate. This struck me as kind of amusing and maybe right on the money. And I also love him. We've passed Thanksgiving, but perhaps this is something that would be apropos for Christmas or whatever it is that you celebrate coming up. I don't actually recommend this. However, we are going to start things off because we know that that moving our bodies is really good and important. And so we're going to start some things off with some stretching. So I hope that you're all in a position where you might be able to get up. This is only going to be a little over a minute. So we're gonna go ahead
and everyone has to participate.
Namaste. I'm Lars, and today we're working on this stretching. Everyone needs to participate in all of the stretches. Follow my lead, and here we go. First, not to pull the muscles, we're going to exercise the face. We put the lips up, and then we put the lips down. The lips up, and the lips down. Now with the nose goes up, and the nose goes down. Up with the nose, down with the nose. Now, in a clockwise direction, moves the entire face. Here we go. Stretch those face muscles. Entire clockwise motion. Okay, now, this is called nature. We're going to be a plant first. Imagine the sun. We're reaching up for the sun. Oh, full extension. We're coming down from the earth and up into the sun. Oh, I want you, sun. I love you, sun. Give me your energy, sun. Oh, yes, you feel that? Oh, right there in the hands. Up we go. And now the other direction. Up we go to the sun. Oh, I love you, sun. Now we're going to be an animal. Let's think about a simple bird. First, we begin with the wings. There we go. Let's move the feet as well. Now, in the clockwise, counterclockwise direction. And I want you to use the sound effects as well. Oh! All up and down with the motion. There we go. Use the lungs. Oh, yes. There we go. And back to center. Namaste.
All right. I hope everyone did all of those things. You were just muted, I know, so that's why I couldn't hear your. Okay.
I wish everybody's camera was on. I was doing it.
You guys, this was originally done with the Board of Trustees at Primary Children's. It was the most hilarious thing to see all these doctors and the CEO and everybody had to do it. And so it was the greatest board meeting ever.
I love it. I love it. All right. So let's keep going. The thing that I was really hoping to do today, as well as have you relax and laugh and stretch to the sun and all of that, is to talk about what you do to de-stress and take care of yourself. So I would very, very much love it if you wanted to unmute and talk, or if you want to put some things in the chat, and we're going to start to make a list. So it looks like we've got Colleen saying she's thinking her neighbors might have seen her through the window. Well, it's, good. We want to share all these fabulous things that we're going to be learning. All right, so I'm going to see if I can get out of this presentation mode and actually start to type. This always seems to be hard for me, so I might have to stop sharing and then I'll be right back. But feel free to start compiling your personal things for self-care. And oops, and let me know. Why is this so hard for me? Nope, that's not it. Technology, guys. Whew. Here we go. All right, let me get a little bit bigger. And I'm going to share again. Okay. So hit me. I'm ready. Ideas for self-care. What do you do? What do you guys do?
This is Dora.
Hi, Dora.
Because I am in front of people all the time, I sometimes just like to sit in my room in complete silence and just turn off my brain. That or jogging helps me do the same thing, which is just zoning out.
Very nice. I think the zoning out is really the key there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not having your brain on overdrive. Whew. Okay, that's great. I love the sit in silence. And of course, jogging's wonderful. Okay, Natalie's saying long walks. So is Cheryl Lynn. Hot bath, great cup of tea, mindless crime dramas. I love this. Oh, this is great. Yep, keep them coming. So this is in the chat if you want to follow along, but let's see if I can, I'll take it just a minute and read them one by one, and then we'll get them on the list. So long walks, wonderful. I'm just going to say for a minute while we're on the long walks thing, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you probably are because you're professionals. But when we do things in a bilateral way, it gets both sides of our brains connecting and integrating what it is that we might need to process. So walking is one of the, we know one of the best exercises, and B, it's helping us to process those things that might have gotten stuck somewhere in our busy day. So that's such a great thing to do. A hot bath, so good. I mean, the power of water, oof, right? And a cup of tea, and the mindless crime dramas, definitely, it gives you a minute to stop having to be so, in your head and let something else take the front seat, and your brain can relax for a minute. Erica says exercise, and she loves to ride horses. Oh my gosh, Erica, that's wonderful, because then you're getting all of the tactile stuff and the connection, the physical connection to an animal, which is great because sometimes people, and it's also exercise. Wonderful. Athena says alone time. Yeah, that's important. We're social creatures, but sometimes we also need to just shut that all down for a little bit. Melissa says funny videos, humor. I'm such a big fan of laughing, right? It's so healthy for us. Country music, Legos. That's how she practices mindfulness. That's fantastic. Play. And again, that tactile, not on a screen. So wonderful. Colleen, deep breathing. We're going to do a little deep breathing in just a little bit. We're going to have an experiential activity. So agreed. When we breathe deeply, all kinds of things are happening physiologically for us. And the very first thing that's happening is more oxygen is getting to our brains. And that is super, super important. But then all of those hormones can start to be happening. Our parasympathetic nervous system is being activated, and we're not in the fight or flight anymore. We're telling our brains, we're okay. We're not in danger, imminent danger. We can think about what's going on for a moment and use our executive brains to make the decisions of what needs to happen next. So breathing, and the thing that's so wonderful about breathing is that it's available to us anywhere, anytime, right? We can always revert back to that anchor of our breath. So good, so good. Anna says she snuggles her cat. She is the crazy cat lady. I might be crazier than you, Anna. We can have a crazy cat lady off. But yeah, our pets provide us so much, do they not? That unconditional love. With cats, it can also be the unconditional disregard, but when they're letting us snuggle, Sherilyn's got her kitty right there. Awesome. Yeah, they're the best. I think our cats got us through the pandemic, personally. Ooh, Amy likes facials. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have so many nerve endings in our face, right? Oh, wonderful. And alone time. That's, I think, the whole thing about facials or massage or any of those kinds of things, I think that we sometimes equate those with self-indulgence, right? Just kind of like what that definition was telling us, self-care is not, that's not self-indulgence, that's important. When we take care of ourselves and we do I mean, would you ever tell somebody that getting a facial is not a good idea, that they shouldn't do that because it's selfish? Of course not. So why should we not do that for ourselves? We're gonna be calmer and more present as a result of doing these things for ourselves. And alone time. Wonderful. Oh, Tina has started acupuncture once a week. And she tells her acupuncturist that she feels like peaceful jello when she leaves. That sounds like a band name. That is fabulous. I think that there, you know, for those that I know who have done acupressure and acupuncture, they have all universally said that it has been helpful. So Tina, I applaud you. That is fantastic. And it sounds like it's really helping you do the just melting away, and that stress can leave. When we are tense, and we are activating those fight or flight feelings in our reactions in our bodies, cortisol is the hormone that's rushing through us. And it's great for when we need it. When that bear is right over there, it is good to have the cortisol and the adrenaline. But usually there's no bear. And so having cortisol running through our bodies more than not it's really not healthy for us at all. So being able to get to the point where you're feeling peacefully jello-like is a wonderful goal to find, whether it's with that hot bath or with that facial or however it is that you're able to do it. That is wonderful acupuncture. Julie, walking dogs. Oh my gosh. I so agree. I think that I have a dog. I have to walk. The walking is my responsibility. He's my dog. And I love it because it does three things. It makes me get outside. And when I'm outside, I'm breathing, I'm looking at the sky, and it's getting me mindful about nature and appreciating so many things, right? It's exercise, which is, again, we know foundational and so important. And it's spending time with this guy that I love so much, and he adores his walk. So it's just joyful because he has to sniff everything, and kind of watching the world through the eyes of a dog is, it takes you out of your head again. It makes you very present. So I totally agree with Julie. Tina, you're saying acupuncture is your time and yours alone. That's great. Guard that. It is precious. It is precious. Okay, Anna, Anna says painting and lifting weights. Now, are you painting while you're lifting the weight? Because I'm gonna
probably not.
Okay.
They should be separate activities, you know, but
that is fabulous. That is wonderful. So painting, again, is one of those things when we switch on that right side of our brain to do these creative activities. It's switching up. And of course, it's not just the right side of the brain. It is going to be integrating, but it's really a way to be very mindful. Ask anybody, when you're painting, when you're doing something creative like that, you have to be focused on it. You're not going to be able to stress as much anyway about all the things that you haven't gotten done yet. It's a way to zero in and let everything else just take a step back. Take a step back. And lifting weights, that's fantastic. I love it. We hear all the time about, cardio, which is super important, but as we get older, we need to help our bones be able to continue to carry us around. And lifting weights is something that can show immediate benefits for people of any age. And it's one of the fastest ways to see results, as well as lifting weights. Good for you. Jade says swimming. Yes, you can't do it every day. That's hard. Wouldn't it be great if we had a swimming pool in our own backyard? I'm looking at you, Gabby. But swimming is such a great exercise. It exercises every part of us. It puts us in water, which is that medium that takes weight out of it, so that we're weightless. And it's for me, my happy place is in a body of water. I think it makes me feel like I'm back in the womb somehow. So swimming is it's kind of perfect in so many ways. That's wonderful, Jade. And organic dark chocolate. Oh my gosh. Dark chocolate has so many positive properties for our bodies and our brains. Yes, good for you. Treat yourself and don't let yourself feel like that's, self-indulgent. Except if you're doing it, 24/7.
Only once a day.
Perfect. Putting in earplugs at bedtime. That's great. Very good. So smart. Yeah. So sleep, again, is one of our foundational things, right? We're going to set ourselves up for success if we're able to get the rest we need, if we're able to exercise, and if we're able to eat right. If we're able to do those three things, then so many other things can follow along much more easily, much more naturally. So sleep, that's so good, Jade. I'm really glad you brought that up. Good. Eric says, ultimately not feeling guilty for taking time for yourself, accepting that something didn't get done around the house, and that's okay. All right, this is kind of huge. So one of the things that I'm really hoping that everyone will take away with themselves today is that part of self-care, a huge part of self-care, is having self-compassion. We are products of a Western culture that says you're supposed to be productive all the time. You're supposed to have everything look picture perfect. And for Sherilyn and for Colleen, we have a bit of a culture in Utah about everything really needs to look very perfect on the outside. And it's hard. It's really hard to just kind of throw that out the window sometimes. And yet it's really important. So Eric, thank you for bringing this up, because I really think it's kind of critical. If we are able to provide the self-compassion that we would give to others for ourselves, then we can be our authentic selves, and that is true self-care. That is. And I'm in your corner, Eric. You take time for yourself. Heather Carlson has to get outside every day. Outside for a walk is a great mind reset. And agree with the organic dark chocolate. Excellent. Yeah, nature, there's so much evidence, you guys, that we have done ourselves such a disservice by becoming more and more, house dwellers, office dwellers, by making our worlds get narrower and narrower. While it may feel like they're expanding because of the internet and our screens and devices, ultimately, that has not been proven to be good at all for our brains. Being outside does wonderful, wonderful things to our brains. Functional MRIs can show us what lights up positively in the brain when we're outside. So I'm right there with you, Heather. And for me, I was always able to justify not going out before I had my dog. And so that was my trick to get myself outside, is to get a dog. Anna says she gathers up the neighborhood kids and walks them to school in the morning, and their little conversations are so fun. And then she takes the long way home and she's loving this cold weather. Oh, that is so wonderful. So there are lots and lots of studies that are showing us that exercising in cold weather is really beneficial for us. So spot on. It's so interesting to me as I look at some people who are out there jogging in the 26-degree weather, and I'm like, you're nuts, but apparently it's really good. And then the little conversations. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my kids, Jade, are now old enough that I don't get to hear their conversations really much anymore with their friends, right? But the little ones out of the mouths of babes, it can help us to just shed all of the stuff that's, well, it's really not important. When we can hear it from the mouths of little kids, we get back to the things that are most important, don't we? I just saw a meme and actually shared it that said, 6-year-olds laugh more than 300 times a day. And we should all try and be 6 again. Love it. And Sherilyn says, in the company of trees is sort of critical to the outside time. Oh, I'm so happy, Sherilyn, that you have those trees. That's amazing and wonderful. Some of us in a more urban setting don't have as much of those, but I do feel very grateful that I live in a part of Salt Lake City that has older, more mature trees, and trees are the answer. Just going to say it. Trees are the answer. This is fantastic. Okay, so let's see if I can get some in here. So we talked about long walks. We talked about hot baths. We talked about TV, mindless. We talked about animals, pets, right? For those of you who are dog lovers, I think dogs are a special kind of a pet in that they are so selfless, right? They love us so unconditionally. There's kind of nothing like the love of a dog. I know that there are those of you who are on here who understand what I'm saying. We talked about, let's put exercise up here. So good. We talked about protecting time to ourselves. We talked about acupuncture. That is so cool. We talked about facials. And I'm just going to go ahead and put massage in here too, I think. And on that note, like aromatherapy, some of these other things that, again, we might sometimes classify as, well, we don't indulge in that very often, but, maybe we should consider trying to pull some of these things into our world a little more often because, again, the evidence is that these things can be very beneficial for us. Self-compassion, not having to have everything perfect all the time. Chocolate, and let's say dark chocolate, right? Because that's what's got the riboflavins. It's not milk chocolate. Sorry, guys, it's dark chocolate. So important. Sleep, definitely. Very good. Oh, so great. I love this. I love this. All right. Let's go on to, let's take a look. We've got a little video that's going to show us some suggestions for self-care activities. Something in the chat. The light and smells of outdoors are hugely important. Totally agree. Totally agree, Sherilyn. All right, let's see if I can. Here we go. And All right. Did that spark any ideas that we didn't capture already?
I have noticed sometimes when I can just check something off my list that I know will make tomorrow better, it makes a difference.
Oh, that's great.
Well, then mark the one that decluttering a small space. I'm one of those people that hates to get up to a sink full of dirty dishes. So sometimes just loading the dishwasher the night before makes me less annoyed the next morning. So anyway, I guess that harkens back to all those years of raising kids, but anyway, sometimes it's hard to let that go.
Yeah.
I like that they mentioned journaling, just writing everything down. Sometimes you just have to get out of your head, and then once you write it down, you realize it's not as a big a deal, or just get it out of your mind. Yeah.
So true, Dora.
The other one too, they said was ask for support or ask for help, I think. Is that what they said? Like,
Yep.
I think sometimes we're too proud to admit we could use a little support. So reaching out sometimes is a big relief, I think, to realize someone is in your corner and will help you out if you ask for it.
I'm particularly glad that that one got called out, because I will tell you, and again, perhaps this comes back a little bit to the culture that we have here in Utah, and maybe because that's what I know most, I'm not aware of it being as widespread as it is. But I think for some of us, there's this idea that we have to be able to do it all, and that asking for help means weakness. Well, quite frankly, we all need help. We cannot do it all on our own. And for me personally, when somebody asks me for help, I have such a more vaulted impression of them afterwards. I value them even more for being able to tell me that they needed something. And I always want to help, right? So the friends I have who are able to say, hey, I could really use some of your time and attention. I love that. I absolutely love that. So it's something that I need to work on doing the other way around. But I think that is a really important one.
It's interesting that none of us listed prayer or meditation. Because I do that, but I didn't list it until I saw the meditation. I thought, oh, that's interesting. It's just like so automatic that I didn't list it as a de-stressor.
Thank you for bringing that up, Sherilyn. So as one of our next activities, I'm going to show you an app that I got introduced to by a therapist. And while I loved her as a therapist, the app is the thing that's actually changed my life. And it's a meditation. Well, it's many more things than that. It's kind of unbelievable. But what I use it for pretty much every day is for meditation. And I totally equate those two things as well. I have no problem at all with the idea that that's what prayer can be for some, is, vice versa. So I think that's really, really wonderful and important that you brought that up. Sherilyn, for me, I do it in the morning, and it's during my time when there's nobody else up. And when I don't do it, my whole day is different. It's really, really different. So thank you for bringing that up. And I hope that I can introduce this app to you. It's free, and I really love it. Anything else that came out of that little video that you want to mention? So one of the things that I think it goes along with the asking for help and support, though, is just talking to friends. I think that's great. And while in the little clip, she had opened up her laptop to do, whatever, a Skype or a FaceTime or whatever, but I don't think it even needs to be that. Sometimes it can be just texting if that's your medium and your mode. But again, it's reaching out and making those connections. The alone time, the personal time is very important, but again, we are social creatures, and it is so important for us to make those connections. And I think women, it's been shown, do this a little bit better. than men do. So it's important that for those men in our lives, we help encourage them to make those friendships and keep those friendships. And here's something that I've really come to understand. Friendships take effort. They don't just happen. And ultimately, they are so important. So for me personally, that's something that's pretty high on my list, is trying to stay connected to my friends. And that sometimes means maybe you even put it on your calendar, a reminder, check in with so-and-so. It's not spontaneous, but it's important. So I think that's a big part of it. Something else that they mentioned in there, it looked like there was an opportunity to connect with a therapist, a professional in one of those. And I think, again, that's something that we should really consider as not, I'll use the word weakness, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong with weakness, but something, we all need help, and having someone who is trained to be able to talk with, I think can be very, very empowering. So want to encourage anybody who feels like they might need to meet with someone to do that. It's as important for, this part of our body, which is connected with the other parts, that we are taking care of it with regular kinds of checkups, just the way we would with our body. Super cool. Very good. Oh, and the comfort food, guys. I'm going to put that down. Does anyone want to throw out their best comfort food?
I think that was the dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. Love it.
Spaghetti.
Mine's popcorn.
Mine's
I love
popcorn.
popcorn.
Oh yeah, popcorn.
And popcorn is not bad for us, so that is perfect. Love it. Spaghetti, delicious carbohydrates. Am I right? Yes, for sure.
That's for the most stressed times. I'm like, I need spaghetti. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, that's great, Tina.
I live by the 3 C's: cheese, coffee, and chocolate. Important things.
Perfect. I say on a daily basis how grateful I am that I am not lactose intolerant. I think a world without cheese would be so hard. 100%, Anna. That is great. Okay. So we did this. So let's go here. And this is a little over 3 minutes. And I want us to just take these 3 minutes to do some breathing, which can be considered a meditation as well. I will make it full screen in just a second, and hopefully everybody's in a place where they can join in and do this. What's happening? That does not seem to be working. Oops. All right, let's try it this way.
Taking 10 breaths. If you're having difficulty focusing, or you're angry or upset, or feeling generally dysregulated, or you just want to take a moment to think before you act or react, then take 10 breaths to reset and re-engage at any time, in any place. Count your breaths along with me right now. Breathing in 1. Breathing out 1. Breathing in 2. Breathing out 2. Breathing in 3. Breathing out 3. Breathing in 4. Breathing out 4. Breathing in 5. Breathing out 5. Breathing in 6. Breathing out 6. Breathing in 7. Breathing out 7. Breathing in 8. Breathing out 8. Breathing in 9. Breathing out 9. Breathing in 10. Breathing out 10. If you get distracted in your thoughts as you're breathing, don't worry. This is absolutely normal and natural. As you notice your thoughts, gently bring yourself back to the breath and to the counting. Start again where you left off. If you don't quite remember where you left off, rewind this recording and just start over with breathing in 1 and breathing out 1.
So by breathing out 10, I was getting a lot more Jello-like. I think breathing and doing it for a little bit and being focused on it can really help us to just settle and be for a minute. I mean, being present, right, means that you're not thinking about what needs to happen and you're not thinking about what already did. It's just that you are right here, right now, and that's cool. So this is the app that I was mentioning, and we'll put this in the resources that we send out, the summary of the meeting. It's called Insight Timer. It's a little bit of an odd name. I think it started out as being something that would help people as they did their own meditation, and it would time them and it would have a tone like from a, from a bowl. But it's evolved and there's so much to it. It's really neat. And there are communities all around the world who use this. If you wanted to join one, you can see who's online at the same time. It's really neat. So I highly recommend it. And thank you very much for doing that with me. Last year in this meeting, we asked Lilian Yamots from the Utah Parent Center. I'm not sure if she's still there or not, but she came in and did this with us. And it was a great presentation, and she provided us a list of 10 stress reducing strategies. And I thought I'd show those and bring those up today as well. And one thing that I thought was so interesting is that yawning is actually a stress reducer. And of course, all of these should be mindful if you possibly can. And if you're yawning for no reason that you are, you're not thinking that you're yawning for any reason, it's probably not going to work. But if you can actually make yourself yawn, something is happening with the brain that helps it to stop being so stressed out. So pretty cool. Stretching. So much of this is using our senses, right? And that helps us to immediately ground ourselves and be present in our bodies. A touch, a pleasant touch. And I think that could be a hug from somebody else for sure. A joyful memory. Absolutely. A value-based word, Maybe that's an intention that is important to you. Same with the positive phrase. Maybe there's something that speaks to you and helps you kind of reset a compassionate thought. Thinking of someone else, maybe, or thinking of yourself, right? Being compassionate to yourself as well. 1 minute of daydreaming. I think this might get back to the zoning that Dora was mentioning. Doing nothing is a really good thing sometimes. Give yourself that 1 minute to just zone out. Our brains they need that minute to recharge. And then a moment of gratitude. Gratitude has been shown to be something that can be useful to everyone in so many different ways. It can help with depression. It can help with terminal individuals. It's a way to reset, as well as to remember that no matter what it is that we're going through, there are things that we can be grateful for. And maybe it's that you have half and half in your fridge for your coffee. You know, it can be that kind of thing as well. All right. So I wanted to show you our page that we just published on everyday strategies to help improve wellness. I think I've got it up, or I can get to it very quickly. So it is in our mental health area, and I haven't added it here yet, but here it is. So just wanted to let you know that this is available, and maybe it will help the families and individuals you serve and work with, and maybe it'll help. Maybe it can help you. A lot of these things we've already talked about. Trying to feel your feelings. That can be really hard, but absolutely, if we aren't able to understand what we're feeling and why and work through it, these things can get pushed down, and that can be pretty bad for our health. We talked about breathing. We talked about spending time with people and animals we love. We talked about exercise and being outside. Putting down the phone, right? Being present. Checking in with your senses. Being grateful. Making sure to get sleep. And that's so much harder than that simple phrase sounds sometimes. That app, Insight Timer, has quite a few different meditations to help you fall asleep. And I think they're really helpful. Here's the doing nothing. Being ourselves and asking for what we need. There it is again. Wanted to make sure that you're aware of that resource. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up now. So we're going to stretch with Lars one more time. So everybody get ready. Here we go.
Okay, we're back now. This time we're going to do one called Be a Lover, Not a Fighter. Okay, so follow my lead. First of all, we start with the fighter. Angry, aggression, into a low stance. Be prepared to hit. Now, as you're moving around, come on, I want to see you move. I want you to feel prepared to be a fighter. Tense your muscles. And it helps if you want to maybe make some Batman sounds. Pow! Zap! Kapoo! Okay, make some sounds for me. Boo! Boo! Move around, very tense. That's it. Bring it forth from the lungs. There we go. Now, we don't want to be a fighter. We want to be a lover. So we're going to move into more fluid motions, away from the fighting stance. There we go. Keep the hips loose. Now we're dancing. Do you feel it? It feels good now. Get the legs involved. We're dancing, yeah? Oh, yeah. That feels great. If you want to do a little bit of motion, side to side, be careful you don't hit your neighbor, but there we go. We're moving the whole body. Oh, yes. Feel the motion. Everybody with me now. And back to center. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Tina for providing the stretching with Lars.
You're very welcome.
He's the best. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to share with us before we call it a wrap?
I have a question. So I'm a nurse care manager for Intermountain Healthcare, and I get this a lot, and I attended today hoping to get some more ideas, and I just am wondering if you have any tips or suggestions on moms with young kids, because I am also a mom with young kids as well as a mom with special needs, because we just don't have enough time in the day. And by the time our day is done, like, I am exhausted. I work full time. I'm a full-time mom when I'm not at work. Like, I just don't have the time nor the energy to be able to do all of the things that it takes to practice self-care. And I know that it's only like a minute of stretching or a minute of breathing, but some days it just seems so hard. So do you have any recommendations on that?
I'd love to speak to that a little bit. What is your name again?
Melissa.
Melissa.
Okay, I see where you are. So Melissa, I'm a special needs mom. I've had a pretty challenging task of parenting as well. It's harder for single moms or single dads, especially. But what I found is we have a lot on our plate, but we also have a lot of guilt because we don't feel like we can do enough. And so let some of that guilt go. If your kids are fed, bathed, maybe not bathed even, okay, that you can skip that once in a while. But give yourself the favor of saying, I've done the best I can do. I've done the best I can do today. And even that little bit, I know it's not much, but some days we fall in our bed at 11:30 after we've done all the cares and all the whatever it is we need to do, and we're just exhausted. But you can take your mind to a place that says, you know, I can't do everything. And there is a quote out there, and it's, I can't do all the good the world needs, but I can do all the, but the world needs all the good I can do. And if you really dissect that and think about it, you know, you're doing so much for your kids. You know, you are a good mom. Sometimes our hearts and our minds take a hard hit when it comes to taking care of children, and especially children with special needs. But give yourself a break, start there. And say, I'm doing the best I can do. My kids are okay. I'm okay. I may be exhausted and tired, and I don't know when this is going to end, but then maybe you'll start to find little breaks. And I got to tell you, I was the one that, you know, I go to acupuncture, and I know you may not have time for that right now. I really had to carve it out and let family members know this is what I need right now. This is helping my stress levels. And so that was something that I did, but I had to carve it out, make it happen, and find somebody to take over my spot in the very busy job that I have as a caregiver, just for an hour, so I could do something for myself.
I thank you so much, Tina, for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
And I have one other suggestion. This is Colleen. So I had a quality improvement project with some providers, and one of the providers, so for the families she works with that have special health care needs, she created some exercise videos. So you don't need to do this, but the families that participated, they did the videos along with their kids. And so perhaps if you could maybe join your kids, it can be for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. They don't have to do what's going on in the video. They don't have to, it could be meditation, but the responses she got from the families is that they brought the families together more. And of course, this was an exercise video. And so the family members themselves, because it was risk for type 2 diabetes and so forth in the community, they lost weight. So it was something that they did together as a family, and the results were great from the families.
Oof, such a great idea. Thank you.
I was going to say, I agree with that 100%. I'm a single mom too. I work full time, and that is one thing. So the Insight Timer, I love that app. It's amazing. And I do that with my kids, and it's been like a year that we've been doing it. And I have a teenager and an 8-year-old, and my teenager struggles with anxiety, and it's been amazing for him. So that's kind of what I do. So
one other thing I wanted to share that I do with my kids is, of all abilities, there's a YouTube channel called Art for Kids Hub that my kids love. And it's a dad that draws along with his kids. And, it's kind of a step-by-step. The kids get to use Sharpies. That's the whole draw for my little kids, is that they're allowed to use a Sharpie. But there really is some meditation and drawing and coloring and mindfulness and, kind of taking that minute, but you're also connecting with your kids. So that meaningful connection is really great too. And it makes me feel like we've done some sort of a craft, because I am not a Pinterest mom, but I absolutely can draw. We drew a Santa taco yesterday.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much. Wow. Okay. This is from Jade in the chat. And I know everybody needs to probably jump off. But Jade has realized that when her imperfections, as she's put it, are visible on the outside, that other parents, other folks can benefit from that by not feeling like they have to keep up with the Joneses, right? So she has actually let her lawn be worse than her neighbor's, who is widowed. And then the widow's in-laws aren't able to judge her alone and take some pressure off. That is cool. Hey, Anna, thank you so much for your comments. Will you put the Art for Kids link in the chat, or send it to me and we'll send it out in the resources? Cosmic yoga on YouTube is also fun. I really like this idea of trying to do some doubling up, right? So if we're feeling really stretched for time, if there's ever an opportunity to check a couple of things off of our list at the same time, that is definitely going to help. And Melissa, I think the other thing maybe I'll just reiterate is that, if you're able to take a minute and just breathe, deep breaths, it's that getting that oxygen to the brain. It can help just sort of reset for a second. And then you can feel like you have a little bit more ability to keep moving on really hard. The Insight Timer app has meditations that are as short as a minute. So sometimes that's what I do, because that's all the time I have. So we'll send all of those out.
One other thing, Mindy, I just put it on the chat, but Life is for Fun on Instagram is Helene Taylor. If anybody's familiar with her from Primary Children's, she's a speech language pathologist, and she started a fitness group for families of special needs kids to improve mobility years ago. And it's kind of fizzled out, but she does little 2-minute videos and, just small little workouts of the day. And if you scroll back, there's lots of really doable at your desk workouts.
Oh,
and she's hilarious and so spunky.
Love it. I love it. All right. Well, we better wrap up. Thank you so much, everyone. This exceeded my expectations. I love hearing your ideas. You guys are phenomenal, and we are here for each other. So that is the whole point. And of course, we're going to start the private Facebook group, which I hope will help with that sense of community. Our next meeting is January 18th, 2023, if you can believe it. There'll be an email coming out with a new registration link for you to do for Zoom. So please watch for that. Happiest of holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you have some really good downtime. Be kind to yourself. everyone. Take care. We'll see you next time. We'll see you in the new year. Bye-bye.